Hey, I'm photographer David Bergman, and this is 2-Minute Tips for Adorama TV. Today's tip is about high-speed flash sync. You may have noticed when using flash that you oftentimes can't go above a certain shutter speed on your camera. This is called the camera's maximum flash sync speed and is different for every camera, but it's usually around 2/100th of a second. The way that a normal flash exposure works is that your shutter opens, the flash fires on and off, and then the shutter closes again. This of course happens incredibly fast, but it's important to know that the entire pulse of light happens during the time that the shutter is open. Once you start shooting faster than your camera's sync speed, the shutter is so fast that it actually starts to close while your flash is still firing. What happens then is the flash doesn't cover your entire frame and you're going to get a shadow over part of your image. Now the camera manufacturers and some of the flash companies are building high-speed sync capabilities into their equipment. This changes the way the flash fires and it pulses so quickly it's almost like a continuous light, and it'll cover the entire frame even at ridiculously fast shutter speeds. Now why would I use this? If I'm doing an outdoor portrait using traditional flash, the maximum shutter speed I can use is 2/100th of a second. Since it's bright out, my corresponding aperture to get a proper exposure is going to be f11. At that aperture, my depth of field isn't particularly pleasing, and the background, all those trees and things, are going to be way too in focus, and it's going to be very distracting to your eye. By turning on high-speed sync, I can bump my shutter speed all the way up to 6400, and that gives me a corresponding aperture of f2 while letting in the same amount of light as my previous image. The difference now is I've got a really shallow depth of field and I can create the cinematic type portrait that I'm looking for. So what's the downside? Well, high-speed sync uses a lot more power from the flash, so you're probably going to have to get your light in a bit closer, and you may have to change batteries more often. Other than that, there's really no reason not to use it. So next time you're shooting a flash photo and want a faster shutter speed, turn on high-speed sync, crank your shutter up, open up your aperture, and get that nice shallow depth of field even in bright daylight. Thanks for joining me today on Adorama TV. Don't forget to subscribe for more amazing videos, follow me on social media @David Bergman, and go to the Adorama Learning Center for lots of other great tips and tricks.